I want you to watch this video carefully because this is one of the biggest off-plan regulatory red flags. Even your favorite Instagram real estate influencer won't even talk about this, but I will. I am going to specifically talk about some tier 2 and tier 3 real estate developers, and definitely not all of them. Now, there are some really nice and credible developers, and kudos to them. They're doing some phenomenal work, delivering good projects, building a strong credibility, creating a proper long-term brand for themselves, and most importantly, contributing to the vision of Dubai. Not going to take any names of any developers. Recently, there have been a few contractor turned developers and smaller private developers who have been doing this kind of practice. I'm going to give you a simple example to describe the situation. Let's say this is a floor plate in the screen. It's comprising of studios, 1-bed and 2-bedroom apartments. Now, the studios and 1-beds in the middle usually sell out fast during the pre-launch, but the 3-beds and the bigger corner units, they don't move only because that community or that area does not maybe require them, or it might be a mix of both the situations, or maybe the layout does not make any sense. What happens in this situation? You, as a buyer, are sitting there wondering why the escrow account still isn't ready, even though payments are already ongoing. Because after launch, some developers realize that certain unit types are not getting absorbed by the market. Now, because of this, these developers later decide to cut down these 3-bedroom apartments, the corner apartments, into smaller units, into studios, or maybe into 1-beds, because that's what's selling the most in that building for the last how many ever months since it's launched. Then later, 6, 7, or even 8 months, or even 9 months later, they revise the entire floor plan across the building, and then they later push the revised floor plans to the Dubai Land Department for the escrow registration, which is why you keep asking your RM or the agent, why isn't the escrow account ready, or why isn't the rest app showing the escrow? Because maybe behind the scenes this is happening. This is why I always say, always work with developers who have a good track record, even if they're new in the market, understand the vision, what contracting company are they using, because that contracting company might have worked with other credible developers, which can be a huge foundation to, make a good decision. That's why with some smaller or new entry developers, you'll notice that the escrow and the whole registration process usually takes time after the pre-launch sales have already started. I wouldn't want to be the buyer who booked a unit early and then later finds out that first of all, the escrow is not there and the whole floor plan is revised and, the units are being chopped down. I don't want to be in that situation. So I hope this information is helpful for you.